Peace and welcome to all of my beautiful crown heads. Thank you guys so much for being in attendance this afternoon, this evening. Today, we have a very special guest by the name of Jessica X. She's a new queen on the platform, so let's make sure that we show her love. Let me give you guys some background as far as how I came across Miss Jessica X. So I went on this show with a brother named Obsidian. Obsidian made a video about me going in on your girl, right? And he was, kind of giving his commentary about what I do and who I am and this, that, and the other, right? And so I decided to go on his platform after he invited me on. And I had mentioned the fact that I did watch the video that he did about me. And I heard the Queen Jessica X because Obsidian was giving his take on me and asking her questions. And what I appreciated about Jessica X, and again, I don't know this queen from a can of paint. Like right now is our first time like really going into a deep conversation right now together. But from what I heard her say about me, I could appreciate it. She seemed like she was coming from a very genuine, fair, and honest place. And I mentioned that to Obsidian. He was like, yeah, I'll give you her contact information. I would love to hear you guys do a video or whatever together. And I was like, yeah, please give me her information because I can, like I said, really tell that she was coming from a genuine and sincere place. She was like, look, I'm not going to speak on Danica Marie. I don't really know her like that. But from what I heard her say in that clip that you guys played, I agree with her. I didn't see anything wrong with what she said, and anybody else, they would have hopped on it. They would have been like, yeah, I don't like it, But Jessica X, she was like, no, I can't really give a thorough explanation or opinion about her because I really don't know her, and I respected that. And so I said, you know what, I want her on my platform. I feel like we can have a deep conversation, especially because we do need more women to link up together and have these kinds of conversations. So I invited her onto our show. All right. I see we have 200 of us in the building so far. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to go ahead and let the Queen Jessica X kind of introduce herself to us because, like I said, I don't really know much about you either, Queen. I haven't even got into your content like that. I completely went off the fact that I appreciated what you said about me during your dialogue with Obsidian. So give us some background and detail about you.
So, okay, first of all, hello to everybody watching.
Don't you guys love her accent?
I'm relatively new to YouTube, so I started my channel a couple of months ago. Mainly what I go over are just current issues, relationship and dating issues. It's kind of like along that spectrum. So yeah, just started out. Again, I got introduced to you during that interview with Obsidian. Okay. I didn't know much about you, but I do know that as women given advice, we can get a lot of slack sometimes, right? Because, they say like, how can women give guys dating advice? And so in that interview, I was just explaining that, listen, if you're a woman and you're actually being genuine with what you're saying, then the advice that we give is going to be very helpful, sometimes even more helpful than the men. And that's no slight to, male dating coaches, but we're women. We know how women think. And so when we're being honest with the people that we're talking to, we can really give them some good advice.
Exactly.
And yeah, essentially that's what I was saying in the Oman interview. And so from there, I've checked out a few of your videos. I really enjoy it. I really like it. I feel like you're giving out a great message, and it's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Thank you so much. And like I said, I haven't got a chance to really dive into your content yet, but just from what I could pick up on, I was like, yeah, she's authentic. I can vibe with her. So, and you guys, today's conversation was something that the Queen Jessica X actually brought up as far as this whole sexual empowerment lie that a lot of us women are being fed out here. It's something that a lot more women need to address, because there is a lot of hoism, as we touched on in previous videos, that is running rampant, and a lot of young women, most importantly, are getting this false sense of what empowerment really is. We feel like empowerment is only defined through our vaginas, in our sexuality, and it's so much more to women than that. And men, okay, ladies, listen up. Men, while they may be entertained by that sexual energy and that hoism, they're not wifing you. They're not respecting you in the way that you want them to. So we need more queens such as me and the Queen Jessica X to speak out about this and give you guys a little bit more clarity and detail about how that is not the wave. So I'm going to go ahead and allow Miss Jessica X to kind of give her background as far as what inspired her to, touch on this conversation. So what made you, Jessica X, want to actually touch on this whole sexual empowerment lie that a lot of women are pushing?
Really just looking around in society today, looking on social media, and we can see that it's basically at the forefront of social media, just the hoe culture, the get the bag movement, and it all stems from that same place, which is female sexual empowerment. And then I suppose what topped it off, like the cherry on the cake, was the Whap video.
Oh,
yeah, the Whap video, and even the aftermath, where I think it was Sukiana, and she was talking about, like, listen, I'm gonna have sex with who I want, and if I'm gonna have sex, I should get paid for it. And it just again goes back into the hoe culture and the get the bag culture and how they merge together. And so I thought it would be an interesting thing to speak about.
Wow.
Yep.
So let me get this straight. Sukiana, is that the name?
Yeah, Sukiana. She was in the video. So if you see, there's a woman with the little, I think they're called like China buns. The small buns
with the
on her head.
Bantu knots.
Oh, that's it. Bantu knots. Yeah.
Okay, I did come across a video. She was doing an interview, and she was talking about how when she listens to Cardi B, it makes her feel empowered as far as being, I guess, ratchet or a hoe or something. I don't know. But I think she did speak on how Cardi B made her feel powerful as a woman, listening to her music.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And
see, this is the problem, ladies.
That's what I was going to say. It's crazy how you can think that being ratchet makes you feel more womanly.
Right. Right.
And it's honestly, I think the reason that they do it is they think that it's the in thing nowadays. So if you're seeing it everywhere, you think someone must like it. You look at somebody like Cardi B and you think she's married and she's ratchet. She was a hoe. So if she can do it, I can do it. That's what goes through their head. And it's infectious. Everybody wants to live that lifestyle.
Right. And this is what we touched on in previous videos also, as far as them promoting this false image. Regular women, we can't do what these celebrities do. We can't do what a Cardi B can do. And as quiet as kept, Cardi B, like, what kind of husband does she have, though?
Exactly.
So are you aspiring to have a man that is for everybody, for the streets? If you want a husband that is for the streets, then go ahead and try to pattern your life and your image and what you do as far as your ways and actions after a Cardi B and see what the fuck you get. But what me and the queens like Jessica X are trying to do is tell you guys, hey, that's not the wave. That's not going to get you the type of man that you are desiring. Cardi B, how many run-ins has she had with her husband as far as him being unfaithful?
Didn't she end up going to court She got arrested. She ended up going to court because she was in the club and she beat up two strippers that were sleeping with Offset.
Exactly. Which is a strong indicator of what kind of man he is, what kind of husband he is. A good man would never place you in a situation to where you have to defend and fight for his attention and fight for your position as his wife. So again, if you're trying to get a husband like an Offset, then go ahead. But a lot of us don't want that. We don't want that. And I feel like a lot of women will use a Cardi B as a means to justify their hoism, their whole behavior, and say, well, she married, she got the ring. What Cardi say? I don't cook, I don't clean, but I still got the ring. Yeah, but what kind of ring? I'm sorry, what kind of man did she get that ring from? Because a real man, a good man, he's not going to tolerate a woman not cooking and cleaning. A real man and a good man is not going to put you in a position to where you're in court over some bullshit that he did. So you over here trying to fight these other women, completely neglecting the fact that the man, your man is the reason why you were in this position to begin with, not them. You need to be beating his ass. But I digress. 416 of us in the building. We should have at least 399 likes, you guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for your donations. Ronnie Ron, he says, it's always good to support you, Queen, on your wisdom and knowledge. Thank you so much for your donation, Ronnie Ron. Thank you, Demetrius. He says, hoism advocates forum impulsiveness. Accent is delish. So I think Demetrius likes your accent. He thinks it's delicious.
Thank you, Demetrius.
Who else did I see? Thank you, Sister George, for your donation. She says, hey, beauties. Hey, Queen. You know, and we need more queens out here that's speaking truth to power like we are trying to do. Who else did I see? Thank you, Terenzo. He says, what she said is why I've mentioned neuro-linguistic programming in earlier videos as it reveals mind control. Oh! Thank you, Leo. He says, shout out to feminine ladies. We need more of y'all. And thank you, Counselor Moray. He says, salute. Thoughtism is destroying souls. Ain't it?
And it is. And here's the thing, right? I have no problem with you almost embracing your sexuality as long as you do it responsibly. Right? So you can embrace your sexuality with your boyfriend or your husband, but it's not something that should be for everybody. And that's what we're promoting right now, is that it's for everyone. As long as he's got enough to pay for it, then he's got enough to get it. That's right. More the problem that I have with it. And on top of it, when we actually, because that's what's in the forefront, right? But then when you go to the grassroots and you look at the reasons for why they're doing it, they're talking about like sexual oppression, right? And how women have been so oppressed in history. And this to me is like, it's dangerous, right? Because what it does is it's coming from the idea that all men are dangerous, they're oppressive, they're sexually violent, they're sexually deviant, and they can't control themselves. And so the whole movement was made to demonize men and boost up women. That's like another one of the major issues that I have with it. And what it does to women as well, when they don't even realize it, it creates a victim mindset and it makes them angry at men for no reason. You live as a woman in the Western world, if you live here in England, if you live in America, all of these Western countries, you are in the most liberal countries in the world. You have no reason to be walking around screaming about, I'm sexually oppressed. You're not. You're sexually liberated and you're still complaining. And on top of that, you're angry at men and demonizing men for something they haven't done. And then when you take that into our everyday lives and we talk about just basic interactions between men and women, dating and relationships, it makes it all so hard because a guy doesn't even know if he can say something, if he can try and approach you, because it's like, the way women are going to try and paint him out is that again, like he's a sexual deviant and he's just trying to talk to you or get to know you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've heard countless men say things like, well, I'm afraid to even shoot my shot at a woman because I'm afraid that she's going to me too me, you know?
Yeah.
So it is ridiculous. It has gotten out of control. And I want to bring it back to something that you said. You know, a lot of us try to get behind this whole sexual empowerment bullshit and talk about how it's about us being able to express ourselves and liberate ourselves. And I'm not having sex with a man unless he has a bag and all of this other nonsense, right? But then those same women will turn around and get upset when men treat them like fucking prostitutes. What do you think that you're doing?
Exactly. Basically, you are trying to be a prostitute, but you don't want the label of a prostitute, but you're doing exactly what a prostitute does. And then you wonder why. And this is the thing, right? It's all well and good having bedroom skills and all of this, but that is not what is going to keep a man. That is not what's going to get you a husband. And you know that's what you want in the end, but that's not what it's going to get you. What it's going to get you is the position as side piece. You know, you're going to be the chick that he like smashes and dashes until he finds the woman who he really wants to be with.
Right. Right. Exactly. Spot on, Jessica. 491 of us in the building. Please like the video, you guys. You know, and that's another false narrative that is being spun out here is that, hey, as long as you have a deep throat, a nice, tight, wet, warm vagina, and you know how to be a fucking, you know, acrobat in the bedroom, you're going to get your ring. You don't have to cook. You don't have to clean. You can be the independent, I don't need no man type of woman. You don't have to make sure that you are listening to a man, being submissive to a man, keeping your body in order. Can't talk about that either. Making sure that you are a pleasure to be around. They don't talk about that. They don't go into that kind of detail. They keep it really surface level. And what happens is women start to internalize that and feel like, well, damn, well, a Cardi B is married, so obviously she knows what she's talking about. A Cardi B and a Megan Thee Stallion and whatever, they do have money and they are popular and it seems like all the men do want them. So obviously they're not steering us wrong. And so you do those very things that they are telling you to do as a woman, and then you realize and you come to the realization that, hey, I'm doing all these things that they're telling me to do. I'm busting it open. I'm doing splits on the dick. I'm deep throating. I'm throwing it back. I'm not cooking. I'm not cleaning. And no man is wanting to wife me. No man is taking me seriously. Why is this? So this is another reason why we need to touch on this conversation. It's because it's not reality. It's not real. Like Jessica said, a man will bust a nut and keep it moving because it needs to be more depth to you as a woman.
And it's exactly that. There's depth, but the only thing they're focusing on is that, you know, sex is enough. And it's not, because here's another thing, right? And you touched on it. The whole I don't need a man sort of mindset. And it's crazy because you want to have the I don't need a man mindset. You know, I don't need you. I'm strong. I'm independent. I can do it all on my own. But at the same time, you want a boyfriend or you want a husband. And then you wonder why you're sitting there with a I don't need a man mentality, but you can't get a man. It's like, make it make sense.
And you know what else, Jessica? Aside from that, they would possess that I don't need a man, I'm independent mindset, and then they'll get with a man, right? And then that man becomes your little bitch ass puppy dog, and he's not trying to do anything. He's not trying to be the provider and the protector. Well, sis, you got that position filled already. So make it make sense, like you said.
Danica, I'm so happy that you said that. I'm so happy because that's exactly what happens, right? So
and then they complain about that because you're not doing what you need to do as a man. Well, bitch, I thought you tried to be the man, right?
Right. And this is
want
it.
me
This is
to do?
how women need to know that that's not what you really want. That's not what you should be doing. You only have to look around and see what's going on for you to get that. Because, like you say, they get with that man, and for a while, it makes them feel strong, because that's what they want to be. They want to be strong. They want to be the leader. They want to be the boss. They want to dominate him. And
Mhm.
they get that for a while. And say it might go on for, depending on the woman, a year, a couple of years. And then what happens is she starts to get frustrated. She'll be like, "You're not a real man. You don't provide. You don't protect. You don't lead. You don't do all of this." But hang on, that's what you were taking pride in doing in the beginning, and now you're complaining that he's not doing it. And that's when they realize, like, okay, do you know what? I actually need a real man. I need to value more in a man than what I have been doing so far. That's when they turn around and realize feminism was a lie. I actually do want a traditional man. That's when it finally sinks in. But then they waste so much time pursuing those good for nothing guys.
And you know what, Jessica, spot on the money again. But this is the catch to that. 601 of us in the building, you guys. Thank you, SW, for your donation. He says, "Hey, ladies. Hey, love, Jessica X." Who else
Hey,
did I see?
SW1.
Thank you, Sick Lid, for your donation. He says, "Thank you, ladies, for getting these wops in check." Thank you, Cool Gent. He says, "Make feminine Black women great again." We gonna do it. We gonna do it.
That is
But
the aim.
another thing that is an issue, especially as it pertains to Black women. And again, we have to touch on this because, it is what it is. It's the only way we're going to be able to correct the errors. We complain about not having men that are providers. Meanwhile, we say we don't need men and we can provide for ourselves. Then we say, we're strong. We're powerful. And then we turn around and complain that nobody is protecting us. We're giving mixed signals.
Yeah.
And it's confusing. It's confusing to a lot of men. It's like, damn, do you want us to come through and be these providers and protectors, or do you not? Do you want us to come through and save you and help you and add value to your life, or do you got it on your own? And it just makes it hard for us to build in that way. It really does.
It does, because as you say, it is mixed messages. And so you have certain guys who are trying to adapt, and they're like, okay, you say you don't want a guy that does all of those things, so I'm going to be the guy that you want, right? And then they get together and she turns around and tells him, you're not a real man. You don't do X, Y, Z. And he's like, hang on, I was everything that you told me to be.
Right.
I did everything that you said. And
Right.
so we are giving out mixed messages. Women are doing that nowadays.
Mhm.
And so men are getting kind of lost in it. And that's why my advice to men is just keep doing you. Forget this narrative that the media is trying to push on you, that because what it's trying to do is it's trying to feminize men, and it's trying to make women more masculine.
Oh, more specifically Black women.
Yeah.
They only do it to us. They only make us the strong, I don't need a man ass women, so they can divide and conquer us. And this is why we need to have these conversations, because nobody is having it. A lot of us are under mind control, as the king said in the comments. We are being brainwashed and turned and flipped on each other. And then another thing, as far as the whole traditional thing is concerned, that you touched on earlier, a lot of women are out here saying that we want traditional men. I need the provider and the protector and the this and that. But we're not trying to be traditional women. Traditional women are not out here trying to be sexually liberated and have their power be shown through their vagina and how nasty and hold out they are. So again, it's hypocritical. If you're wanting a traditional man that is the provider, the protector, and all of these great things that men should be, you need to be a traditional woman. Traditional women, they kept the house, they cooked, they cleaned, they were submissive, they listened to their men, they raised the children. you know? And I'm not saying to act like a nun and cover up your body and don't show your body off and all of that. But it speaks to me, it speaks more to a way in action. You know, not so much of a look. People can look at me and say, I'm a Cardi B too. You know, you look like a Cardi B ass bitch. You look like a holdout ass bitch, right? But I don't act that way. And so to me, as far as being traditional is concerned, I feel like we need to hone more in on the ways and the actions of that. We're not acting in the traditional sense, but then we're complaining when men are not acting in the traditional sense. You know, so we have to make up our minds, because yet again, that's giving off mixed signals, mixed messages. You know
what it is? Society and the media lied to women, right? It lied to women, and women are buying it. What it told women is that you can have it all. You can be this strong, independent woman, you know, get everything on your own, be a hoe, be this, that, and the other, and still have a traditional man. And it's like, no, you can't have it both, but they want it all. And it's like, you have to realize, if you want a traditional man, you have to play your role and be a traditional woman. And it's like you said, no one is asking you to walk around, you know, like with your hair covered and a turtleneck. You can see us both here. We both look like, we both have a bit of cleavage. We both wear what we want, but our ideals still reflect, work it. Our ideals still reflect traditional values, and we know how to cater to men in that way. And women are they're missing out on that. And it's like I say, they brought into a lie. It is a lie. You can't have it all. You know, for every action that you have, there's an equal reaction. And so if you want to be dominant and strong, you're going to attract a man that's feminine. And
weak
at the end of the day,
docile.
exactly. And that's not going to satisfy you, because naturally what we need is a dominant masculine man. That's what fulfills us. That is what we need. And these women, they're buying the lie. They're letting like the outside forces get to them more than what their inside is telling them. You know, because when you come down to the root of it, and you're around a man that's masculine, you're around a man that's strong, that gives you a certain feeling inside. You know, you feel safe, you feel protected, you feel loved. It's a different kind of feeling, rather than the stress that you get when you're with a man who's weak, who's fragile, who's feminine, where you have to do it all, where you have to be the leader. That's not good for us or healthy for us as women
at all. It's not natural.
And that's it. It's unnatural.
That's not natural. Women naturally need men that are the leaders, that are the teachers, that are the providers and the protectors. It's within you. It's innate. Okay. It's no fighting that. And that's why, like you said, when you are a woman that possess certain qualities that are so dominant and overpowering to the point where she's trying to live all day, every day in her masculine, you know, when she attracts a certain type of man, because like you said, it's going to be an equal but different type of reaction, right? So you're going to attract a certain type of man that may resemble that of the more softer role, of the more feminine role, of the more, you know, I'm going to lay back in the cut and let you handle this, because you're playing that dominant role to where you got it. So he's just going to sit back. And so what happens is we do get turned off by that, you know, and then before you know it, you're complaining about the man that you got. He ain't shit. And now you treating him a particular type of way, and you're being disrespectful towards him, when in all actuality, that's a reflection upon you. He's doing nothing but reflecting your image, giving that yin and that yang, giving you that balance. So, you know, it's really kind of delusional. A lot of us women, unfortunately, are delusional. And like you said, we want to be, you know, these sexual, powerful, I don't need a man type of women. But then when we get treated in that same manner, then we want to get upset. It's like, do you want to be celebrated for your hoism and then get upset when you get called a hoe, or what is this?
And it's so, like, I'm happy you touched on that, right? Because it's, I'm gonna act like a hoe, dress like a hoe, but don't look at me like a hoe. Don't even put your eyes towards me. Don't you dare call me a hoe. You know, that's what it is. So, and it's this thing where I get to do what I want, but you as a man can't react to it. You're not allowed to react to it. And if you do react to it, we're going to paint you out to be dangerous or be the villain in the situation. Because even when you look, right, what they're trying to do is they're trying to demonize men. And when you look, right, they say a quarter of women have experienced a sexual assault before. And when you look at that, you're like, wow, 25% of women have experienced sexual assault. But then you have to go and look into it and see what they class as a sexual assault. Do you know that they're classing in those surveys a man telling a joke as a sexual assault? A
Wow.
joke is a sexual assault. If a guy touches your elbow, your shoulder, you know, just even touches it, brushes against it, that is a sexual assault.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
they're throwing all this stuff in there just to get the number as high as they can, again, to make men look like the bad people, to paint men as the villains. And then they get to turn around and say, you're disgusting, you can't control yourself, all you think about is sex, you're trying to objectify me, and all of this like feminist, you know, sexually oppressed talk that they like to speak about. It's just, it's crazy.
Right. 737 of us in the building. We should have at least 700 likes, you guys. Thank you guys for being in attendance. Thank you guys for your donations and your memberships. I'm sorry if I did not get the chance to see your donation. Moderators, please make sure that you guys are saying thank you for us. Something I want to touch on. Two things I want to touch on that you mentioned. You know what, Jess? We're going to get crucified for this shit. Because you know, we on some pick me shit, right? You know, we're bringing balance and we're calling shit out as far as women are concerned. Therefore, we're being pick me trash ass bitches. So, but we're gonna go there because it needs to go there. Okay. A lot of women are dangling the water, splashing the water. Okay, and to me, like I said, it's a difference between being sexy and being hoed out. You know, a lot of women be hoed out and then want to disguise that shit as sexy. No, having a G-string with nipple pasties, nah, that's not really sexy. Having a nice fitted dress on, that's not really hoed out. A lot of women be hoed the fuck out, splashing the water everywhere, and then want to get upset when men come through with their cups, trying to get a refill, trying to get filled up. To me, that's hypocrisy. Another thing I want to touch on is how many men, now there's some real pick-me shit. They can be mad at this, Jessica. How many men are sexually assaulted by women, but are taught that being sexually assaulted by women is okay? And a man that complains about that, you're gay. A man that complains about that, you're soft. A man that complains about that, you're weak. See, when it comes to women sexually assaulting and abusing men, that's supposed to be okay. But let a man do that to a woman, and hell is going to be raised. You know how many women I know have grabbed the booties of men, grabbed the penises of men, touched on men on their abs and elbows and shit, caress their hair and shit.
And here's the thing, if we take it the other way around and use the same things that they're trying to use to classify a woman's sexual assaults, like you say, the jokes, it will be higher. And that's what I was going to get to. It will be way higher, but there's a double standard. And
big double standard.
It's actually more acceptable for you as a woman to be able to touch a guy and there's no consequences for it. Like you say, it's seen as a good thing. And if he complains, why are you being, you know, Right. You're not a man. A real man would enjoy it. Right. And you even have things like where there was a rapper, I can't remember his name, but he hired two grown women prostitutes for his son for his birthday. This
Oh,
happened like,
Birdman and Lil Wayne.
is that it?
Yeah, I
I
think
can't.
so.
Okay, but it was some rapper and he did that. Can you imagine if it was the other way around? Can you imagine if that happened the other way around?
They
That
would be
person
up,
is a pedophile. The
right,
guy
they
would
would
get
be up
locked
under
up,
the jail. They would be up
right?
under the jail. It would be
And
no hesitation, no
oh, that's it.
discussion.
They're saying Boosie. It was Boosie.
Oh, Boosie.
Yeah, that's his name.
And see,
Boosie.
it's more too. That's what I'm saying. Like it's Lil Wayne and Boosie, and it's normalized. It's accepted. It's celebrated as it pertains to men. But that shit is fucked up. If let a grown woman touch my son, see what the fuck happened. That is not cool. And there's so many double standards out here. And like I said, it's sick. It is sick. It's twisted. And I don't understand it. I really don't understand it.
Because it's like what society tries to tell you is that a woman is always the victim and a man is always the bad guy or the criminal. That's what society is telling us. So it's okay for you, even when you think about, how you have the women teachers who sleep with their students. And people will be like, oh, I wish that was my teacher. He's so lucky. Oh, why couldn't I go to that school? But if it happened the other way around, it's like, oh my gosh, he's disgusting. Oh my gosh, he's a pervert. Oh my gosh, he's this, that, the other. So there is a definite double standard.
Jessica, do you know how many men I've heard say that they were molested as children and they felt like it was okay? And they still do to this day feel like it's okay?
Because it's pushed into them that it's a good thing.
Right.
It's a good thing if it happens to you, but if it happens to a woman, you've been violated and it's a bad thing. And this is the thing. It should be a bad thing all around.
All around.
For a grown woman to be with a child, that's a bad thing. There's no way that we should be trying to push it and say, we need more of this. I wish I got that treatment. Right. Or for a woman to say, what are you complaining about? You're a guy. You must like it.
Right. And this is why I say to my fellas, this is why I tell you guys are the leaders. You guys are the teachers. You guys set that fucking standard. And so if we have majority of males out here saying that it is socially acceptable for young men to be sexually assaulted and molested and abused, it's going to continue. You guys have to set that standard and set that tone. You can't be out here as men saying that if a nigga touch my daughter, I'ma kill him. But your son is for everybody. Your son can get it. It has to be across the board, because this sexual empowerment issue can be flipped for men as well, for little boys as well. A lot of little boys feel like being sexually abused is a source of being a man. His manhood, it's not. That's just as bad as what these women are doing. We all need to clean up some shit around here. But especially as women, though. Men too, though. Because Jessica, as quiet as kept, a lot of these men out here, like I said earlier, they entertain these thoughts. They entertain these hoes. And that's why they feel like it's okay.
I've had to, I've said it before as well. Men need to stop dealing with these sorts of women, because what you do is you might say, oh, I'm just gonna smash and dash. I'm just gonna pump and then dump. But what you're doing is you're reinforcing her behavior. And she feels like, as long as I can get somebody who's still attracted to me and who will still sleep with me, then what I'm doing can't be that bad. Right. Men need to have more discipline and stop dealing with these sorts of women altogether. If you stop dealing with them, because I always say women work on validation. That's like what we eat, what we need to survive, right? And so as long as you keep giving them that validation, they're going to keep doing what they're doing. If you take that validation and that attention away from them, watch how their behavior changes. Watch how they'll switch up, because they will. Men need to realize that they still have that control. They still have that power, no matter what laws are around, no matter what society is trying to tell you. that is still the number one power that you have to influence the way that women behave. Stop
Exactly.
giving attention to women who do not deserve it. Know when it's better for you to just walk away, to not engage with her, to not give her the time of day. Men need to put that into practice a lot more.
Absolutely. Fellas, you guys hear us? You guys are ultimately the leaders. You set the tone. Women are here to be of assistance to you. And maybe I'm just a little bit old school in that way, but I do feel like there are roles, like you said earlier, Jessica, and I put it in my book. If you haven't got my book, go and get it. It is down in the description box below. But there are roles that are reserved for both men and women, and neither one is less than the other. They're both powerful and needed. But fellas, you guys are the real leaders and teachers out here. What you guys tolerate, it will flourish. It'll go. But once you put your foot down and say, hey, enough of that shit, it'll stop. It'll stop next week. Because like Jessica said, a lot of women thrive off of your validation. And if they feel like I'm being celebrated for me popping my pussy for the world, for me, fucking everybody, and I'm getting paid for it, I mean, it ain't that bad. Obviously, these niggas like this shit. Right? So, fellas, y'all have to change up y'all tune. And I understand it's a lot of men out here that are very immature and they operate solely from their penis. But that's why we need you kings out there. And I feel like majority of the men on my platform are pretty level-headed. We need you guys to step up and call that shit out as it pertains to the younger men that may not be solid on their foundation. Maybe they don't know any better. Maybe they're out here giving these thotty thought cakes the validation. You school him and you tell him, nah, bro, don't do that. Her showing her vagina for the world, that ain't what's up, bro. Her fucking for a living, that ain't what's up, bro. Don't entertain her. We don't fuck with that kind. She for the streets. I be seeing y'all with these videos, she for the streets. Y'all be in my comments talking about she for the streets. You tell your young brothers, she for the streets, fam. We don't insert our penises into her. Hold yourself at a higher regard, fellas. I feel like a lot of men don't do that. A lot of men feel like they don't have to be very selective with their body count and with the women that they choose to penetrate. And you guys need to hold yourselves in a higher regard to where it's like, nah, you can't get this dick. You're not worthy.
Right. That is exactly that. Listen, brag on yourself a little bit. Pump up your own ego. Say, look at her and say, you are not worthy of the D. You don't even deserve me. And going back to another point that you made, the guys here have a lot more power than they think they do, especially on the younger generation, because what we see with this younger generation of guys is they don't always have that stable male figure in their life to give them advice.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they're looking out for what a man is meant to be, they're going to look to the media to see what they're meant to be doing, to see how they should act. And if they're looking at the media for that, they're going to destroy their lives. And so they need other men around them who can actually give them real productive advice of how to better their life. And so for guys in these chats or guys in these spaces, if you hear this and you see the things that we talk about in women, advise other men to stay away from it. Advise them, especially younger guys, because they're going to look up to you as somebody who's coming from a place of experience. Warn them off of it.
Exactly. That's exactly what you guys need to do. Because it's what we're doing, Jessica. In the media, what are these young women being taught? Oh, girl, your power is in your pussy. Your power is in how many niggas that you can fuck and suck. Your power is in how good your head game is, how deep your throat is, versus how deep your mind is. That's what they're being taught. So we have to combat that and say, hey, little sis, that's not right. That's not right and exact. Your power is not in your vagina. It's in your mind. It's in your spirit. It's in your energy, in your essence as a feminine woman. We have to reinforce that. We have to bring that back. Fellas, y'all got to do the same thing. Otherwise, like Jessica said, it's going to be more young men out here feeding into that hold out energy, thinking it's okay. And so what's going to happen? You're going to get more and more hoes looking for more and more hold out validation. It's nothing wrong, and it's my opinion, it's nothing wrong with validating women. Fellas, like Jessica said, we need that. We need you guys to come through and validate us, but make sure that you're validating the right shit. Don't validate somebody just because, you know, she's being a hoe. Validate the women that are coming through and speaking truth to power. You know what I mean? Do that. Big those women up. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to get more and more women that's going to come through and say, hey, I need to get like that, because they're getting the validation from the men. They're getting that attention and that approval from the men. Obviously, we need to be like Jessica and Danica.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, you have to do that. We have to do that for each other. You know, as far as me, you know, talking about kings like Obsidian and Kevin Samuels, you know, I big them up, you know. I'm giving them that validation so more men can come through and, you know, speak truth to power. Do I agree with 100% of the things that they do? No, but a lot of it is needed. You know, so it's all needed.
Sometimes we have to sit down and look at the power that validation actually has, because I've heard men say, listen, women don't care about what I think. You know, I'll tell them I like them, I pay them attention, and they don't pay me any mind. But guess what? It's your validation. It's the validation that comes from men that has allowed her to think that she's better than you, and why she doesn't pay you any mind. That's the power of validation. So even if you think your opinion or your validation doesn't matter, it does. And so when you're on things like social media, when you're on Instagram and you see the girl fossing it up, don't like her picture. What you're doing when you like her picture is you're telling her you're better than me and I want a piece of you.
Oh.
You're worthy and I want a piece of you. And so what you're doing is you're praising the thought. And then other women are going to look at that and be like, well, she gets all the likes on her picture. She must be doing something right. I should do the same. And then I'm going to get a big following and I'm going to get all the likes on my picture. And that's how we've got to Instagram now, where it's just full of thoughts, because they realize what the most successful women were doing and other women are trying to copy that. And so when you see that, do not give them your likes, do not give them your attention. If you sat there and stopped liking, I'm telling you, if every guy sat down and stopped liking these thoughts pictures today, the thoughts would die out on Instagram. They'd start changing the way they look, they'd start changing the way they act, they'd start changing the way they think about things and talk about things. They would change.
Right. And you know, like I said, it's nothing wrong with being sexy. Like if you find a woman to be attractive, you like her picture, like the picture. But a lot of men out here be liking the pictures where the women are fucking butt ass naked. She bouncing her ass. She deep throating cucumbers and shit. Like,
right.
Those get millions, thousands of likes. And so what you're doing in that sense is you're reinforcing that behavior, because women feel like, hey, that is what, you know, is going to bring me the most validation and give me the most attention. You know, for me example, I know I'm an attractive woman. I'm not going to shy away from that and act like I'm just oblivious to the fact. I know that I am. But I have certain reservations about myself as well. If I wanted to, Jessica, I can have a fucking million followers on Instagram overnight if I wanted to. All I have to do is take naked pictures and, you know, suck on a lollipop and I would blow up overnight. But it's all about having integrity. It's all about having things that you're proud of, you know? I have respect for myself. Am I sexy? Hell the fuck yes. Will I put on some sexy clothes? Hell the fuck yes. Will I show off my curves? Hell yeah. My husband, a personal trainer, he does a damn good job on my body. Okay? I eat right. I do what I need to do as a woman. I'm showing this shit off. but it has to be done with taste. It has to be tactfully done. And a lot of women, they don't care about being tactful. They don't care about integrity. They don't care about how they're being perceived. It's all about, how can I get this instant validation? A boatload of it. And we need to bring it back to where it's like, sis, stop trying to chase that instant, overnight, no substance validation. You know, because like you said, men they'll look at it, they'll like the picture, but are they wifing you though? Are they wanting to settle down with you though? A lot of them are not. But a Cardi B gives them false hope by saying, well, Cardi B's on this whole shit and she's married. But once again, let's take the conversation deeper. What kind of husband does a Cardi B have?
See, these women, they're always chasing the quick road to success or the easy path. And
Yes.
we have to sit back. Nothing in life that is worth having comes easy. It's not going to come easy to you. If it comes easily, then it's not good for you, or it's not the best that you can do. And so, guys, when we're talking about these easy women, yeah, it's easy, it's instant gratification, but it's not going to be what's best for you, right? When it comes to women, yeah, you can go out there and you can try and take that quick path of just spotting it out to grow subscribers, but it's not going to be what's in your best interest, because what will happen is you'll fought it out for 10 years, maybe on a platform like Instagram, until you start to reach your sell-by date. You don't really have it like you had it before. And you've wasted all your time where you could have been trying to get a man. You wasted it fotting out on the gram. And now you're lonely and you're looking for a husband. And they're like, sorry, you know, I'm over here liking the other 100,000 or even the other million young women's pictures who I'm seeing on Instagram. You get left behind. They waste their time doing this until they get left behind. And then they sit and cry about it at the end.
And Jessica, let's take the conversation a little bit deeper. Ooh, we got 820 of us in the building, you guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. 821 now, 825 now. 800 likes, you guys, help us out. This another aspect, another element to that, Jessica. Oh, see, a lot of us women out there, we want to be sexually empowered and sexually liberated and be sexual deviant hoes out here and celebrate hoism, right? And then, like you said, we get older, we lonely and shit. Now we try to turn it around, and now we want to be wholesome women instead of hold out women. And it's like, girl, I ain't taking you serious. Girl, I saw you put that cucumber up your girl, and that be the bullshit. It's the same thing along the lines of a lot of women passing up the nice guys until much later, and now you're lonely and now you're trying to settle down. A lot of us do this with this whole sexual empowerment bullshit, this whole hold out lifestyle. It's like we want to be hoes until we're not able to be hoes no more because nobody's checking for us, and now we want to switch up, and now we want to be saints, and now we want to be treated with respect. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to respect yourself. You have to set a certain tone for yourself. First and foremost, you can't be hypocritical and be a hoe all the way up until you 45, and now your neck getting all wrinkled up and your breast implants are deflating and your booty getting hard from the cement that's in it, and now you want to change it up. No, nobody's going to take you seriously. Nobody wants you now. So this is why these conversations are very important. We have to stop celebrating that sexual hold out empowerment lie, because it's not getting us the real results that we need. Y'all laughing in the comments. I'm dead ass serious. It's not getting us the men that we want. It's not getting us the liberation and the empowerment that we want. It's not getting us the respect and the treatment that we desire. And then we get mad later, and now it's everybody else's fault but our own. No, sis, you presented yourself to the world like that. You get what you got. You get what you give. That's what you gave us. So don't try to switch it around now. And now you're talking about ain't no good men out here and all these niggas disrespectful. They don't treat me right. They don't treat me like a queen. I want to get married. Girl, nobody want to marry you though. Why would a man? This is the thing, and I feel like a lot of women need to understand this. Me personally, I'm not a man, but I can use my insight. I feel a lot of men like women that are exclusive. You know what I mean, Jessica?
Right? Yeah.
When a man feels like a woman is not really exclusive and everybody's had a chance at her, or everybody's seen her, or everybody's known what it's like to be with that, it loses the luster. And they don't want to wipe something down and show something off that they feel like is for everybody, that they feel is not exclusive, that they feel is, not something to be proud of. So women, we really have to be careful with that. Like, yeah, you're going to get that instant gratification. You're going to get those likes. You're going to get all those followers, but you're not going to get a king.
Exactly. And this is it. Put it like this, something that a lot of women can relate to. What makes a Louis Vuitton handbag special? What makes a Birkin special? The fact that not everybody has it, the fact that it's exclusive. When we look at, even when we go to those bags, the most valuable ones, it's the limited editions, the ones that very few people have their hands on. It's exclusive. People like exclusive things. And so you can't complain as a woman when you've sat there and you've got a body count in, some of these women, triple digit body counts, and then you're complaining about a man doesn't want me. Listen, we all want something exclusive. You want the exclusive handbag and he wants an exclusive woman. We like exclusivity. We want something that not everybody else has. We want something to be proud of. I can't be proud of you, or a man can't be proud of you if he's going to take you out to dinner and, but she slept with the waiter. But she slept with the guy who parks the car. She slept with the valet. She slept with, the guy that's sitting on the table over there. Why would a guy want you? Why would a guy want that? You have to be logical when you're thinking about these things. You can't keep being a victim. You have to take accountability for all of those times that you opened up your legs and you did what you did. You have to take accountability for that. You can't play victim forever. And society is trying to push it that you can always be a victim. You're a victim in this. It's not your fault. If a man doesn't want you because of your high body count, he's slut shaming. And then he's the villain. No, exactly. Take accountability for what you did.
Exactly. And it's unfortunate. And a lot of women, Jessica, they would try to turn the tables and say, well, y'all don't hoe shame men. Men can be out here plugging their penis in any other bitch they want to, all these hoes, and y'all don't say shit about them. I do. And this is why I'm telling you, men out here, to be exclusive with your penis. Be exclusive with your energy.
I was going to say, listen, they can say you're not saying that about men, but I do too. I don't want a guy that slept around with everybody. In fact, it's a big turnoff to me when a guy will show me his ex and it's some trashy, low value, low quality woman. I'm like, that's what you were with before, and now you want to be with me? Right. That's a turnoff.
Right.
So we get turned off. I hold accountability towards men there too. That's a turn off to me. I didn't want to deal with that.
Me too. And it, like I said, we have to have these conversations because a lot of people are out here getting the wrong impression. There's a lot of young men out here feel like that how many hoes they smash validates them as a man and their manhood. And we're coming through as women like, hey, that's not cute. That's just as nasty as these women. I want to be able to walk around proud of my man as well. I don't want a man that another woman can come up and say, oh, I had that dick before. It was all right. No, you don't know what my man is like. The fuck?
Exactly.
Girl. Yeah, we all hit that before.
Yeah, I had that. It was okay. It was okay, but I wouldn't go there again.
I don't want that, and I don't feel like a lot of people, I feel like we all desire something that is exclusive to us, something that we can be proud of and know that is just for us. You know, and a lot of people, they look at me sideways when I say I only had 2 sexual partners. I really, truthfully, only had 2 sexual partners, my husband included, because I knew that I wouldn't want a man that was out here loose. So why would I carry myself out here loose? You know, I'm always been strong on being balanced and fair. I'm not going to demand of somebody else something that I'm not able to measure up to or hold myself to. I'm not going to have these outlandish standards to where I couldn't even live up or measure up to those said standards myself. So, yes, like we all need to be very mindful of our sexual energy and what we are presenting to the world and what we're doing. Like, yeah, be sexy, be proud of your body and all of these other great things, but just really be mindful of what you're doing with your body, who you're giving your body to. You know, you don't want to be ran through and then get mad when people say, I don't want somebody that's been ran through. That's a decision. So
it is a choice. It is a choice. And that's why it's so good that you're here speaking on these things. I've just moved into it where I'm speaking on these things, because if I look around, I can look everywhere on Instagram, I can look all over YouTube, and I will see thousands of women promoting the wrong thing to other women, or giving men the wrong advice. It's everywhere. And so we need more platforms like this. We need your platform to keep growing. So if you're new here, make sure you sub to her channel. We need these platforms to grow, to get the message out, to like be a balance towards all the other women that are out there talking. We need to make these voices louder. We need to grow and support these sort of platforms, because it's going to benefit everybody.
Men, the women will start to fall in line. Y'all will start to fall in line and like I said, become those leaders that you are naturally supposed to be, you know? And like you said, Jessica, before we get up off of here, because we've been on here for an hour and I know you probably got other things to do, but you know, we would get attacked by women for speaking the way that we're speaking.
I've had a lot of hate from women, a lot of hate, called a pick me, a sellout, all sorts.
Yes, it's like you're back in this misogynistic lifestyle and you're this and you're, it's like you're hoe shaming. Yeah, I'm shaming hoes. You should be ashamed to be a hoe. I'm sorry.
It's like, damn right I'm shaming you. When did being a hoe become something to be proud of?
But you know what, Jessica? Then those same women will be mad when you call them a hoe. So you're going to defend a hoe, but then I can't call you a hoe? Oh, I thought it was something to be proud of. Make it make sense. But yeah, like we said, these conversations are very much so needed. I saw we had 857 of us in the building. Y'all, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much, Jessica, for giving us your time and your energy. Make sure that you guys follow, subscribe to the Queen's channel. I still haven't familiarized myself with your content yet, but from what I heard today, and like I said on Obsidian's radio show, I already know I'm going to feel what you're talking about. So make sure that everybody is subscribing to the Queen's channel, giving her love and support, because we do need more and more women out here that are speaking truth to power and giving more balance out here, you know, and trying to get things in order. Thank you guys so much for your donations. I'm sorry I wasn't able to bring you guys up on the screen, but I do appreciate it. And I think we have our moderators that are putting her YouTube link down in the comment section. So make sure you guys go and subscribe to the Queen's channel. You have anything else you want to say before we get up off of here, Jessica?
I just want to say again, thank you for having me on. It's been great talking with you. It's nice to hear a like-minded woman, and we can just agree on these things and just get deep into it, you know, just really get into it. And so, yeah, thank you for having me on. Hopefully we can do it again sometime. And
Absolutely. And shout out again to the King Obsidian for making this possible. So y'all check him out too. I think he has his radio show over on Mixler. So go over and subscribe to his platform as well. Shout out to everybody in the building. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys so much. We love you. We respect you. Gotta go. Much love. Peace. Y'all come on back. We go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 p.m. Central, and sometimes we go live randomly, like we kind of did today. So please hit that notification bell. That way you guys are notified, all right? My name is Anika Marie. If you're new, come on back. If you're old, come on back. And if you some trolls, get your ass up out of here. You're not welcome in the kingdom, all right? Peace to all of my crown heads. We got to go. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.